So essentially, welcome back. Although that might not make sense to a lot of you guys. I posted about this a couple of times, but I tried to keep this part of my life kind of silent. I'll just keep this very short. We had a garage fire after successfully finishing the first stage of this garage. And so now this is Garage 2.0. It kind of looks the same. There's some changes. Some of the stuff that I wanted to do in version 1 but couldn't do at the time, they're now done. And I tried to make sure that this was a little bit closer to the final vision that I had for the space, with the exception of I'm lacking a lot of the tools and stuff that we're aiming to finish up at. So as far as the new layout goes, everything's kind of still the same. This is the working area bays right here. I've got the short little mid lift because this is a 9-foot ceiling, because I needed storage and loft space up above me. This is the area for full builds, and as you can see here, this R34 GTR is on the rotisserie. And then now one of the newer changes is I've got a 2-car 4-post lift here for a long-term parking and storage. My wife's JZX, which I still need to get started on, but priorities first. I have way too much customer stuff. And my GTST track car, which is like at that final 5%, but again, priorities first, which is customer cars, work, getting my product line back up to date, and et cetera, et cetera. I also have a new full height 2-post lift, which has been phenomenal for exhaust fabrication and work underneath the car. Right now there's a Ferrari that's in here for a tow hitch receiver so that he can haul his race wheels and tires to the track, which is a fun project. I never say no to cool stuff like that. And then yeah, everything else is pretty much the same, plus or minus some changes in finish out. So what I have going on right now as far as long-term projects is the first one is this R34 GTR. This isn't a new car. This is a car that I had before the fire. Actually, the last time that you guys might have seen it, it would have been here between the mid-rise lift posts as I was taking out the engine, stripping the car, and getting it ready for a roll cage at Walker Pro Motorsports down in Austin. Russell did a phenomenal job on the cage. I got it back and I started stripping it even further, getting the dash, sound deadening, everything off the bottom of the car so I could start prepping it. For stitch welding in some of the first stages of fabrication. The CG is kind of weird on this one. If you look, you'll kind of see where it's at right here with the interior as far as sound deadening. It's got new seat brackets and mounting, particularly so that the driver can sit a lot lower and a lot further back in the car for better CG and feel. That was a customer request, and he's very, very big about where he sits in the car, as it is one of the most important parts. And then as you can see, everything's just about all stripped out of there currently. Yeah, and then aside from this, the next step is going to be getting the underside all stripped off, getting rid of all the undercoating, stitch welding the entire chassis for the most part, and then installing air jacks and kind of just cleaning up some of the stuff that remains from the roll cage. Even though it's a track car, the customer still wants it to have a nice clean look and a good finish out. So we'll take care of these items. We'll fix any sort of damage underneath and figure out how we're going to be routing some of the extracurriculars, how we're going to set up the flat bottom, how we're going to set up the coolers, and everything else that this car is going to need. And thankfully I have this rotisserie because this has been a godsend for this project. It's made working on it extremely easy, and without it, I don't think I would want to, I don't think I would be able to do this without it. So anyways, yeah, that's what's going on with that one. It'll likely be undergoing chassis prep, cleaning, stitch welding, and various chassis fabrication for quite some time. This car is my old 32 GTR. I started working on this one while my shop was down from the fire. What it is it's my old chassis that was sold as a rolling shell. and the new owner has purchased an HKS 2.8 Step 2 engine, and then he added the Step 2 V-Cam. This was before they added it with the V-Cam. New HKS T3 4R turbo package, a little bit of custom fabrication, catch can, and some small bits and pieces here and there, but for the most part, this is a catalog car. Has a lot of nice bolt-on components, and his aim is just to make it a very nice, easy, and fun to drive street car with an insane amount of reliability. Some of the stuff that I had originally done to this car, like the fuel system, they kind of stayed the same. We just upgraded the fuel pumps, and the interior stayed as OEM street spec as possible, with the exception of a Motec dash and a couple of changes that we made in the center console, but nothing too much.